This video is sponsored by Marvel Rivals. You may have heard of Elsa Bloodstone, you maybe even heard of her brother, Bloodstone. But their second cousin, me, Maxwell Bloodstone. I am also a monster hunter. Sure, the monsters I fight are not as flashy, but I also can summon my own monster as well.
Release the Mactrox!
The hell is that? Elsa Bloodstone is the new duelist introduced in Season 6.5 of Marvel Rivals. And for the first time in a long time, she's a Marvel character I knew absolutely nothing about when she was announced. Which for me was very exciting. I personally love when Marvel Rivals chooses a less popular character and thrusts them into the spotlight, like Magic, Squirrel Girl, and Jeff. So before I explain how to play Elsa, I need to understand who she is. So let's find out her comic book history together. Elsa Bloodstone is the daughter of the immortal monster hunter Ulysses Bloodstone, who trained Elsa at a young age to become a monster hunter herself. No joke, her dad made her fight a monster when she was a literal baby. He was pretty brutal, and not a good dad at all. The training did work and made Elsa a strong monster hunter, but because of it, she resented her father. And when her father finally wanted to die and asked her to do it, she refused to give him the satisfaction. And after her father passed, she took over his estate in Boston and became a monster hunter herself. She was also given a choker with a fragment of her father's bloodstone, giving her enhanced strength and durability. One time, her brother, Bloodstone, got possessed by the parasite Glartrox, so she found a way to successfully remove it from her brother and contain it into a ring, and so she can occasionally call upon this demon. So for most of Elsa's comic book history, she would join various Marvel groups. She first joined Next Wave, a counterterrorism group, and helped them defeat a bunch of random monsters. But one of her most famous team-ups that turned her from a D-list hero to a C-list hero was when she finally met Deadpool. Deadpool and Elsa would go on a lot of crazy adventures together, becoming very close friends. And sometimes a little more than that, with Wade even sacrificing himself for her at one point. It's kinda nice to see him care about someone other than himself. So whether she's fighting demons, monsters, or alternate reality versions of her father, Elsa Bloodstone can do it while looking badass in the process. And now that she's in Marvel Rivals, she's at least a B-list hero for sure. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about Elsa Bloodstone, let's learn how to play her, shall we? Elsa's main weapon is her double barrel blaster, which is a shotgun that fires 2 rounds every time you shoot, meaning that even though you have 8 shots, you really only have 4 shots before you have to reload. And for a shotgun, this thing has a surprising amount of range, only falling off after 20 meters, and even then it's still solid. This hit scan weapon can rack up damage fast, and if you got the aim, this thing is insane. Enemies will be taken down with ease from close range, medium range, and long range. It's just always a good weapon, as long as you don't miss.
Strange is one, please!
Strange is in the air, he's one out! Please, I'm trying! I got him! Now, technically, Elsa has another weapon, the Monster Piercer, which is an elephant gun. This does great damage and can pierce through multiple enemies when used, but this is less of a secondary weapon and more of an ability that pops up when you use her other abilities. So let's talk about those first. Her first ability is Helix Advance, which has Elsa dash forward for a little burst of movement that also grants you 40 bonus health, with a maximum of 75. Also, after using this ability, your next shot will be from her elephant gun, and you have 6 seconds to shoot the shot or it goes away. Now this dash should be used basically as often as you can. It has a pretty short cooldown that only gets shorter with her passive, which we'll go over later, don't worry. It's genuinely a great movement option that will keep you alive longer, whether you're dodging ultimates or just dodging bullets. And getting to use the elephant gun helps with your overall damage output, since it's basically an extra bullet that you can use, which turns her otherwise lousy amount of ammo into a reasonable amount of ammo, especially when you pair it with her next ability, Ruthless Pursuit. Here you dash forward and launch up enemies you hit with it. Your next shot will be with the elephant gun, but you also have the option to use a follow-up attack to propel you backwards and slow enemies hit by it. Then after you do that, you can use the elephant gun again. So this is a nice burst of movement. It's great for chasing down enemies or for escaping, especially when you propel yourself backwards. It's also your only vertical movement, both the dash and the shot that propels you up, which can get you to a better position on the high ground. So when you pair it with your Helix Advance, you can just keep schmoovin' and schmoovin'. Her next ability is her trap called Smoky Snare. Once deployed, it becomes invisible and invulnerable, meaning that enemies can't do anything about it. Enemies hit by it take up to 30 damage, but once they trigger the trap, they can destroy the trap to take less damage, and the trap itself has 100 health. Also, on top of that, you can dash towards the trapped enemy, meaning that Elsa has 3 dashes. This trap is pretty strong, making enemies sitting ducks and easy pickings. I mean, enemies can't even play around it. It's completely invisible, even to Daredevil.
There we go. See me now.
No, I can't see it. That's so stupid. Daredevil should be able to see it. So just throw the trap out where enemies tend to cluster and enjoy. Her last ability is Living Bullet. You fire a living bullet round that will try and hit as many enemies nearby as possible. Enemies hit by it will be marked, and if you shoot at marked enemies, you'll get a nice little speed boost. This bullet does a clean 60 damage, making it very strong, and it can be exactly what you need to finish off an enemy. And when you end up hitting multiple people, it can feel so nice. Also, this living bullet will bounce off the floor or walls, so it's not that hard to land. Elsa does have a passive ability, Inherited Instinct. Every time you deal damage and get kills, it will increase your meter, and shooting trapped enemies will increase the meter even faster. Every time you level up the meter, your cooldown for Helix Advance goes down 2 seconds, from 8 seconds to 6 seconds to 4 seconds, with it eventually going all the way down to a 2-second cooldown. So I'm not joking, when you have your cooldown for Helix Advance, just use it, spam it, dash around. You do lose 1 level of your meter when you die, but getting your meter back to full is very easy to do. So good Elsas can basically always have a full meter. It's kind of wild. Now, Elsa's ultimate is Apex Predator, where you... So Glartrar? Wait, what's its name? Glartrox. Oh, yeah, I ain't remembering that. This Gartox guy comes out and will hit any enemy in its path, dealing 75 damage. And then once it's done running or hits a wall, it will deal 125 damage. Enemies hit by Glorptrax cannot use their abilities until it stops moving. And this can move everyone, even the Thing. Oh, what?
It does grab you.
What the heck? That's crazy. The Thing gets hit by that? I'll go over which abilities can stop it or are unaffected by it in the pro tips. And you can even call your ultimate back towards you, making the enemies easy pickings. This ultimate is crazy good on maps with cliffs or holes, as Glorby over here can take enemies down with them, which can lead to some insane plays. I got triple, let's go off the map!
Wait, you? Oh my god.
Oh! Yeah!
How you did?
Now, when you're on the receiving end, no! It can be a bit annoying. But thankfully, you can kill the Glarbtrop. It only has 400 health. Also, side note, while making this video, they already nerfed Glarbadar, which is probably for the best. Regardless, it's just a fantastic ultimate that at minimum creates space for your team and at best lands some nice eliminations. Glardagar is kind of a beast. I'm something of a monster hunter myself, so listen to these pro tips. Number 1. Elsa is a great counter to dive compositions. Her trap and her ability to shmove while also having a hit scan weapon makes her great for countering annoying enemies like Black Panther or Spider-Man. And because she's a hit scan character, she's great versus flying enemies as well. And with her team up with Deadpool, her living bullets do an extra 40 damage while also healing herself based on the amount of damage the enemy took. So this is obviously just a very strong team up, to the point where if you're playing Elsa, you definitely want a Deadpool on your team. This extra damage will help you rack up kills a lot easier. Number 2. As we know, her ultimate can move enemies, which makes the most sense to push them off the map or even push them off an objective, which can actually stop enemies from triggering overtime.
You got that, you got that.
Yeah.
The ultimate. Oh, I knocked him on point with the Globetrotter.
Nice.
But it can also counter a very strong ultimate, Invisible Woman. When an Invisible Woman ults, enemies will think that they're safe in this big cylinder until they're all pushed out of it. So when you see an enemy Invisible Woman ultimate, get them out of there.
Do ultim.
They're out of it. They're out of the ultimate. They're out of the ultimate.
Kill him.
Kill them. They're out of the ult, guys.
Wait, that was actually so good.
That was awesome, dude. Number 3. Teammates of Elsa, do not use CC abilities on enemies hit by the Glarb, because this will take them out of the monster's control. So Mantises and Luna Snowmanes, don't sleep or freeze enemies hit by the ultimate. I know it's tempting, but please stand down. Number 4. And now, here is every ability that can block Elsa's ultimate. Overall, Elsa Bloodstone is an insanely powerful duelist who is honestly pretty straightforward compared to how complicated some of the other characters are. Looking at you, Deadpool. It's nice to see a more unknown Marvel character get the spotlight and now a ton of new fans. But how is she for noobs? For noobs, I would say she's easy to play. Just land your shots and spam your dash and you'll be releasing Glob Trunks in no time. It's just that easy. But what do you think? Have you played Elsa Bloodstone? And if so, do you think she's easy to play or hard to play? Do you think she's underpowered and needs buffs? Or overpowered and needs even more nerfs? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay guys, I gotta go find a better monster to summon, so I'll catch you later. Ya noob.